Yo, what is going on, guys? Valiant Style here, and I'm finally bringing you part 4 of What If All the Saiyans Joined the Z Warriors, Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. And we already know Vegeta joined, of course, but this is the story of what if, Raditz and Nappa both survived and actually joined up with the king. And basically, I'm also going to throw in Gine. A lot of the inspirations that came for these character developments mostly did come from MasakoX and his various what ifs individually, so I will be leaving a link to all the playlists for them in the description below. Please check them out. I'm pretty sure a lot of you already have, and if anything else, a little bit more out there. But it does have my own twist to it, as many people have probably already seen through it, and I'm going to do my best to catch it up all the way up to part 10, since I missed 7 months since the last video. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started and catch up a little bit with Gine just a bit more, and essentially basically say this. Gine's role in the fight against the Saiyans when Vegeta and Nappa arrive essentially equate to how things essentially stayed the same. And the reason why that is Raditz and Gine know who Vegeta is as a prince. So because of this and their cautionary natures, they both go on ahead and fight Vegeta, while everybody else is essentially taking care of Nappa. And of course, the Cybermen show up, but they take out nobody this time around, as they basically clean house with the Cybermen, and it only leaves Vegeta and Nappa. And in this situation, it basically equates to having Nappa go through the exact same situation all the way up until Goku shows up, where everybody's beaten, including Raditz and Gine, because now we've actually seen a little bit more of Vegeta's power and seen just how much stronger he can be, because essentially a lot of people would look at Raditz and Gine as the power duo right now in this situation without Goku, but even they weren't able to stop Vegeta, and the 5 of them couldn't stop Nappa. But then Goku would show up, beat up Nappa as he does when he first is introduced, saves Nappa as in the original part of this series from Vegeta, and we continue on from there. As the gang is getting ready to head off to space, Gine suspects that they might run into Frieza. It's a gut feeling, that mother's intuition, if you will, and basically decides against going, which leads us into the part that we currently have in part 3, completely unchanged, which is why we can go ahead and jump into that. And if you haven't seen the series so far for 1, 2, and 3, I'll leave a link to them in the description below, as well as I'll probably leave a direct link to part 3, since that's being completely unchanged and we're jumping into it here now. So as we enter back into our story, Gohan is currently at the cave, explaining the situation to Bulma as he also passes her the Dragon Ball. Sensing the situation at hand, he feels the group currently gathered over at Guru's, but feels Vegeta's presence towards that same area. Noticing this, he asks Bulma to be completely safe and see if she can better hide herself. It's then that Gohan uses his abilities to the best that he can to basically get to Guru fast, while at the same time trying to keep his power low, just in case they get back their scouters, or they have any spare ones on their ships or anything like that. And as we head back to Guru's place, Vegeta has made it there after killing Zarbon to see what exactly everyone is up to, see what's going on, and he feels that some of their powers are greatly different in comparison to what they were on Earth, particularly in Nappa's. A sense of pride comes over him as a prince, of course, feeling that his friend for so long, or I guess you could call him more so a mentor, big brother figure, has become more powerful than he was on Earth. But since he's still a bit of that cocky person that he was on Earth, he looks at Nappa and says, "So you finally managed to become somebody. I see you're not the weakling you were on Earth that I almost had to kill." And this infuriates Nappa and almost causes a fight right there, as Yamcha is the one to reach out and just basically tell him no. And Yamcha is the first one to speak up against Vegeta and saying, "Now is not the time for this. We have to worry about that Frieza guy and any other of his goons that may try to come and find us." And that's where Vegeta cockily says, well, I don't know about Dodoria and what happened with him, but you don't have to worry about Zarbon. Zarbon was taken care of by me. And Nappa's a bit surprised that he was able to take out Zarbon by himself. But she's also, it's a mixture of surprise and not surprise. It's like, he still managed to do this, but I guess it can't be helped when it comes to Prince Vegeta. He's always been able to become stronger when he's needed to, or do these amazing things for years now. I can only imagine what it was like, but he must have gotten just as much strong, if not stronger, than what I did after the defeat on Earth. As Nappa's inner monologuing this, they sense a power level coming, and Krillin's immediately the first one to say, Gohan must be coming back. And Vegeta continuing on this conversation, so before the Runt gets back here, I guess it's a good opportunity to ask one of you, where's the last Dragon Ball? And this surprises everybody as shock comes over their faces. The last Dragon Ball? But of course, I managed to elude Frieza's forces for now, but I need the last Dragon Ball in order to gain my wish of immortality and defeat Frieza. Guru sits quietly as the events unfold, and his exhaustion and sickness gets to him, feeling the pressure of darkness that surrounds Vegeta, as Nail gets ready to also fight alongside them by defending Guru in case Vegeta decides to take his rage out on Guru. As the others say, we're not telling you where it is, and that's where Vegeta begins to get a bit flustered and say, you need to tell me now before the Ginyu Force gets here. And that's where Nappa chimes in, and they both exchange a back and forth about, how do you really know the Ginyu Force is coming here? And he says, I overheard Frieza talk about them before I left. Luckily for me, Frieza was too preoccupied with the phone call to come to the next room. Because unlike the series, the Dragon Balls weren't in the same room as Frieza this time around. When he makes the phone call to the Ginyu Force, they're just like a few feet away. But of course, Frieza's the one that destroys his own ship, so he's not going to just like burst through. So it takes him a little bit, which is how Vegeta is able to escape. From there, Nappa and everybody think that it's probably a better idea to have all the Dragon Balls together, but they don't know if they should really trust Vegeta. It's here that Nail's actually the one to step up and say, there are 3 wishes, Evil One. If you only need the one for immortality, leave the other wishes to the Earthlings. And that's where everybody kind of looks at each other and at least nods in agreement. And Nappa looks to Vegeta and says, can you get along with this? Vegeta reluctantly says, fine, as long as my wish is first. Which brings up everybody's like, okay, cool. Now we have a plan. We know about the 3 wishes. Let's go ahead and start making some moves. And it's here that everybody starts to follow behind Vegeta in going to their spot. And Vegeta in asking, why are we heading to my area when I don't know where the other Dragon Ball is? Gohan, and it's there that everybody's like, Gohan may have it, or at least know where he put it. So let's go to your spot first and confirm that where they are, so that way we know you have all 6, and then we'll go get the last one. So that way we have everything that we need together. And this way too is a form of trust. It's an extra way to be sure to be able to trust you, and you not trying to kill us off before we get to do our wish that we need to do. Vegeta says, you're smarter than you look, Earthlings. Maybe Nappa's the one that told you this. As Nappa huffs, and they reach the area where the Dragon Balls are. But as they reach that area, the Ginyu Force has just touch landed on Namek, bringing the scouters to Frieza, doing a quick synopsis of, I don't see Dodoria or catch some of our scouters here. Where are they, Lord Frieza? Frieza just simply mentions Dodoria is dead. According to Zarbon's report after finding his body, it's in tatters in a way that he only recognizes as one of Nappa's attacks, which means Nappa has betrayed me, just as Prince Vegeta. find them and kill them. Unless they have my Dragon Balls. To which case, unless they don't have my Dragon Balls, excuse me. To which case, make sure you make them say exactly where the Dragon Balls are. Understood, Lord Frieza. And basically, back after this, the Ginyu Force is headed over to where Vegeta and the rest of them are, thanks to the new Scouters. It's here that we kind of cut back to a small argument about timing and everything, as Vegeta and everybody else feels the power of the Ginyu Force coming in, and it breaks out. You should have had the run here, or at least kept the Dragon Ball with y'all. Now we can't do anything because of the Ginyu Force on their way here. What are we supposed to do? And basically it's now a race to see who gets here when, because Gohan has had to play catch up, because before he could arrive at Guru's, he sends everybody else leaving and followed behind. Luckily for him, he's able to land just in time to see the Ginyu Force land too. And Krillin is able to catch him up to speed about who the Ginyu Force are based on the conversation between Vegeta and Nappa. It is now a 5v5 situation, but it quickly turns into a 4v5 as Ginyu simply walks away from everybody, taking up the Dragon Balls, trusting in his men. But before Ginyu can completely leave, Vegeta sends him off a very sour gift as he kills off Guldo. No questions asked, just in front of everybody, with a big old blast, just blow him to bits. And he looks over to Ginyu and is like, "You see this? Before long, this will be you, Ginyu. Just wait long enough and I'll catch up with you and do the same." Ginyu gets a little bit upset that after seeing one of his men die before his eyes, but reluctantly he has to continue on his mission and bringing the current Dragon Balls over to Lord Frieza, and reiterates, "Do not show them any mercy, men, but make sure you pull out any information they may have on the last Dragon Ball." Ginyu, of course, responds, "Yes, sir." As the fighting now goes down as such, Recoome is fighting Vegeta and Nappa, while you have Berter and Jace no longer on the sidelines, but they are fighting 2v3 in Gohan, Krillin, and Yamcha, who just get pummeled, in all honesty. Jace is more cunning than they thought, while Berter is way too fast for them. It's here that he actually can use a little bit of that moniker, fastest in the universe, as Berter by himself takes on Yamcha, while Jace is literally picking on Gohan and Krillin throughout, and Recoome is taking some pretty decent damage between Vegeta and Nappa, and you actually get to see a little bit of the teamwork as Vegeta sets up a blast to happen to Recoome, knocking him towards Nappa, as Nappa does the same attack he did to the city as when they first landed on Earth, really damaging him. And then as he's getting up, you see Nappa getting ready to do a Bomber DX sandwich between a Gallic gun from Vegeta with Recoome dead ass in the middle. But it's here that Recoome rolls up on Nappa, beating the crap out of him with a Recoome Flurry, is what he calls it, and basically doing a Star Platinum-esque beat down, a flurry of punches, and ending it with 2 Recoome kicks. It'd be a little bit funny to see as he sits here and goes through this, and he probably have I could picture him having his own little thing like Recoome kick. That actually would be awesome to see animated now. I kind of want that. As we sit there and Nappa is now out, thanks to the Recoome Flurry, he looks to Vegeta and basically goes, "Now Vegeta, look at you now. The Prince of All Saiyans lost with nothing but himself left. Nappa's just waiting to die, and I'll take care of him as soon as I've taken care of you. Now prepare for the Recoome's ultimate technique. Recoome the Ginyu Force's best attack. Recoome Eraser Cannon." As he's powering it up after making this huge speech, Vegeta powers up a Gallic gun to try his best to fight it off. And then it happens. The beam struggle that happened on Earth as Vegeta's flashing in and out of his fight with Goku on Earth. As he sits here and thinks Kakarot was able to beat me, I won't let this musclehead beat me as well. And then, sadly enough, Raccoon is able to win the beam struggle, but thankfully, thanks to Vegeta's genius, he was able to use the Gallic gun to offset the attack against him to not have a lot of damage, but he's now basically cut up, bleeding, armor's all broken and everything as he did in the anime. And it's here that now you have the ship drop, and you hear it land. It's very quiet. The Ginyu Force look over. It's like it's no ship that we've seen before. Nothing like that. As Goku opens the hatch door, and we actually see Goku do this as it slowly opens. His figure silhouetted, clean cut, as you see him be the first one to step out onto the stairway, I guess you could say, of the hatch for the ship, onto planet Namek, followed by his brother close behind. As they look over towards the direction of the Ginyu Force, it's here that we cut back to Captain Ginyu landing nearby Frieza, basically sitting here, so while we only had a few, Vegeta had a lot more. This was quite unexpected, but a very gracious turn of events. What about the seventh one, Ginyu? Ginyu looks to him and says, I'm sorry to report, but Guldo has died while in the course of action. However, Lord Frieza, my men are currently interrogating those fools as we speak, and I will be reporting back to them here soon to see what information they have on the last Dragon Ball. Frieza says, that's not good enough, Ginyu. Is there anything else you can offer me? Well, there must be at least a couple of other Namekian villages, Lord Frieza, or maybe something else close by. Maybe a Grand Elder of some sort. These Namekians don't seem too uncivilized, yet very prehistoric. So why not try and see if there might be some sort of king? It's here that Frieza does the scouter thing and ends up figuring out where Guru and everybody is. And he's like, well, it was rather tiresome looking throughout the other Namekian villages. I guess I might as well go to the source before I kill them all. Good work, Ginyu. Of course, Lord Frieza. As Frieza sets off to there, and Ginyu slowly gathers Dragon Balls and places them in a more secure location into the ship and plans his way back towards his rest of his crewmates in the Ginyu Force. And it's here that we're going to go ahead and stop part 4. What do you guys think so far? Do you like the inclusion of Gine? Do you feel like it might have been a little bit of a waste? Either way, let me know in the comments below. And again, of course, I'm going to make sure I get up all the way to part 10 of this before I somehow or another be gone for another 8 months. I sincerely apologize about that, guys. Life is life. It's the best way I'll put it. I don't like being too personal in these things. It's a little awkward, I'll be honest, but, you know, we're all people, we all get each other, you know, we all have different things that we do, whether it's work, it's family, it's other things that may affect our lives. But I promise you that this time I will be consistent. And I would also like to say, too, and take this time out, I recently wrote a book, and as many of you know, I easily love anime. And as such, I recently wrote a isekai style story, its first volume. It's called All I Want Is Peace. I'll leave a description for it below. For those of you that are interested, you can get a paperback copy off of Amazon for $5.50. You can get the ebook version from Kindle for $3 flat, and then you can get it for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. I do thoroughly ask to give it a chance. You might like it, especially if you're into an isekai story, or just an overall fan of isekai stories as a whole. I won't deny and say it's rough around the edges, but I do humbly say that it's a really good read. And I hope you guys enjoy it if you decide to read it as well. Thank you guys for taking this time out with me today, and until next time, I'll see you next time.
誠